Subscribe now. Don't miss any story. Share your thoughts or reflections in the comments. Like it if you were intrigued by every word. It was late August when the five of us decided to head to the coast for the weekend. The summer was fading, but the heat still clung to the air like an old memory you couldn't shake. We'd done trips like this before. Me, my best friend Jason, his girlfriend Emily, my girlfriend Lauren, and our buddy Derek. We were a tight group. College had bonded us together. And even as we all ventured into different jobs and cities after graduation, we kept in touch. This trip, though, felt different even before it began. We arrived at the beach house on a Friday afternoon. It was one of those places you find on Airbnb that looks too good to be true but somehow lives up to the pictures. The house perched right on the edge of the ocean, with a wraparound deck and floor-to-ceiling windows that gave us a view of the water wherever we stood. Lauren and I had been together for 3 years. She was sweet, artistic, and fiercely independent. We'd gone through ups and downs like most couples, but lately things had been off. She'd grown distant. Sometimes I'd catch her staring into her phone for minutes at a time, the light of the screen illuminating her face in the dark. When I asked her about it, she'd laugh and say I was being paranoid. So I stopped asking. That Friday night, we all sat out on the deck drinking beers, laughing about old memories. The stars were scattered above us like glitter, and the sound of waves crashing below set a peaceful rhythm. Jason had always been the joker of the group, telling wild stories and doing terrible impressions that somehow still made everyone laugh. Emily, his girlfriend of 5 years, was quieter, more thoughtful. They balanced each other. Derek, meanwhile, had this mysterious charm. Tall, tan, with that kind of smile that made people trust him too easily. He wasn't close with Lauren, or so I thought, but they shared a few laughs that evening. A little too many, if I'm being honest. Still, I pushed the thoughts away. I wasn't going to ruin this weekend with jealousy. On Saturday, we spent the day on the beach. Lauren seemed more relaxed than she had in weeks. We played volleyball, grilled burgers, and swam in the ocean until the sun began to dip below the horizon. That night, we built a fire in the sand and gathered around it. There was something hypnotic about the flames, the way they danced and popped, reflecting in everyone's eyes. Lauren sat next to me but not close enough to feel connected. Derek, on the other hand, was across the fire from her, and I kept catching glances exchanged between them. Quick looks that they thought no one noticed. But I did. I tried to shake it off. Maybe it was the beer. Maybe I was just being insecure. But the feeling gnawed at me all night. Later, when everyone went inside, I stayed back to watch the ocean alone. The moonlight shimmered on the water, and I tried to remind myself that I was overthinking everything, that Lauren loved me, that nothing was wrong. When I finally walked into the house, I found Jason and Emily asleep on the couch under a blanket. I figured Lauren had gone to our room. But as I stepped into the hallway, I heard something. Whispers. Then a giggle. It was coming from the guest room. Derek's room. My chest tightened. I walked quietly toward the door, the soft creak of the wood floor beneath my feet somehow deafening in the silence of the night. The door wasn't fully closed. What I saw changed everything. Lauren in Derek's arms, kissing him. Her fingers tangled in his hair. His hands on her waist, her neck. For a moment I couldn't move. My body froze, like my brain couldn't catch up with what my eyes were seeing. Then quietly I stepped back. I didn't make a scene. I didn't shout. Just left. I went outside, sat on the cold steps of the porch, and stared out at the black ocean. The waves kept rolling in, uncaring, relentless. Just like the truth I'd now seen with my own eyes. I don't know how long I sat there. Maybe an hour. Maybe more. Eventually Jason came looking for me. "Man, are you okay?" he asked, sitting down beside me. I looked at him, my throat dry. I saw her with Derek. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Shit." We didn't talk more than that. He stayed with me a while, then helped me pack a few things. I didn't want to stay another night. I drove away from that beach house in silence, the road lit only by my headlights and the pain that burned behind my eyes. Lauren tried to call me the next day. I didn't answer. I didn't need to hear excuses. Already knew. Over the next few weeks, the fallout was messy. Emily broke up with Jason. Not because of anything he did, but because the whole event cracked something between all of us. Our group, once unbreakable, was shattered. I didn't talk to Derek again. He messaged me a few times, said he never meant for it to happen, and that it just did. As if that was an excuse. As if betrayal was some sort of accident. Lauren sent a long message one night. She said she was sorry, that she didn't know why it happened, that she still loved me. But love, I realized, isn't always enough. Especially not when it's paired with lies. Took me months to recover. I went through all the stages. Anger, denial, sadness, numbness. But in the end I came out stronger. Lonelier, sure. But wiser too. I started therapy, leaned on my family, reconnected with old friends. I traveled a bit. I learned how to be alone and okay with it. And one night, almost a year later, I went back to that beach. Not to relive the past, but to face it. I sat on the same steps, heard the same waves. But this time I wasn't broken. I was whole. Infidelity has a way of ripping everything apart, but it also reveals the truth. The kind of truth you might have ignored for years. Teaches you who people really are. And who you are when everything falls away. That night by the ocean destroyed what I thought was love. But in the wreckage, I found something more honest. Myself.